Now, you know how you make a question in English? For example, you have a sentence such as, you can ride a horse, and you want to make it into a question. All you do is to take the pronoun you and the modal auxiliary verb can and swap them around. Can you ride a horse? That's easy. You have got a chocolate donut. Switch the pronoun and the modal auxiliary verb and you get, have you got a chocolate donut? Easy, huh? But you knew that already, didn't you? And if there is no modal or auxiliary verb, you add do. You like unicorns becomes, do you like unicorns? Very easy. But did you know that this swapping around thing we don't do just for questions? And did you know that this swapping around thing is called inversion? That's right, inversion. Let's look at a few more cases of when we use it. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome to Let Them Talk. And today we're going to talk about inversion. When you start a sentence with some negative phrases, when you want to sound more dramatic or emphatic, you use inversion. Let's look at a few cases. Not only are you brilliant, but you are also beautiful. Okay? Remember, it's not only you are, but not only are you, because of inversion. Not only was Grandma a great pianist, she also spoke Latin. Correct my sentence. Not only she is rich, she is also nice. That's right. Not only is she rich, she is also nice. Correct my sentence. Not only he speaks Chinese, but also Japanese. No modal verb there. So, just like in a question, we add the verb do in the third person. So it becomes, not only does he speak Chinese, but also Japanese. Remember, if the verb is the same in the second part of the sentence, you don't need to repeat the verb a second time. So, for example, not only will I be here tomorrow, but also next week. You could say, not only will I be here tomorrow, but I will also be here next week. But, as I said, it's not necessary to use will twice. By the way, we have a video just on this subject of not only, link up here somewhere. Here are a few more phrases that use inversion when they begin a sentence. Never have I been so insulted. Can you say, I have never been so insulted? Yes, you can, but using inversion gives it some more oomph. And it shows, an element of surprise. Never have I been so insulted. Never have I been so insulted. Never have I been so surprised as when I saw your mother kissing Prince Harry, okay? After not once have you told me the truth. You haven't once told me the truth. That's perfectly okay. But to add drama, start the sentence with not once. Okay, not once have you told me the truth. Can you rewrite this sentence with inversion? You didn't help me. Not once. That's right. Not once did you help me. Remember, in this and other negative sentences with inversion only applies when you start the sentence with the negative phrase and not if it's within the phrase. So you say, you haven't once told me the truth. No inversion. But not once have you told me the truth. He is not only brilliant but also handsome. No inversion. But not only is he brilliant but also handsome. No sooner had I arrived when he told me I was fired. No way am I going to eat those frog legs. I know your mother made them for me. I don't care. Okay? Can you make this sentence using inversion? I won't let you borrow my car. No way. You got it. No way will I let you borrow my car. Well done, you're brilliant. Little did I know. Little did I know, or little did you know. This is an interesting phrase. And again, use it for dramatic effect. But it doesn't mean you know a little. It means you know nothing. Nothing. Little did I know that the murderer was sitting opposite me on the train. Little did she know that her life was about to be turned upside down. Yes. Under no circumstances will you be allowed to enter the building site without a hard hat.
You might also find inversion after these expressions: rarely, barely, hardly, scarcely, and seldom. They are quite literary and not that common, so I won't be using them in this video. But if you're reading, especially literature, or listening to a formal conversation, do look out for them.
Next, you use inversion after neither and nor in two ways. Firstly, with short replies when you agree with a negative. I don't like aggressive people. Neither do I, or nor do I. I mustn't eat too many cakes. Nor must I. Neither must I. Also, when nor or neither introduces a second negative in a sentence. Let's have a look at an example of that. My friend doesn't like flying, and neither do I, or nor do I. I'm not here tomorrow, and nor are you. Can you rewrite the sentence using neither or nor? John has never been to Pakistan, and his wife has never been to Pakistan. Quite a clumsy sentence, so what do you think? John has never been to Pakistan, and nor has his wife. That's right. Inversion works in the same way after so. In short answers, you like Korean pop music? So do I. And in sentences with two affirmatives. Johnson will go to prison for the crime, and so will Perkins. Doris is a vegetarian, and so am I. Now, after some words that express surprise, we use inversion. Wow, is he clever? See, that's not a question. It looks like a question, but it's not. It's an exclamation. Boy, am I tired? Man, do you look sick? Yeah, it's not a question. I'm not asking if you're sick. I'm telling you you're sick. I'm shocked by it. I'm using the dramatic effect of inversion. Bloody hell, is this difficult? Oh, blimey, am I tired? Oh my God, have I done something stupid? Now it's your turn. Phew, it is hot today. With inversion. Phew, is it hot today? Very good. Finally, you can use an inversion with the first, second, and third conditionals when you use another word instead of if to make the conditional. The first conditional, you can use should, although this is very formal. If you see Jane on the high street, give her a kiss. So just replace the if with should. Should you see Jane on the high street, then give her a kiss. Okay. You can use it. It's a bit formal, but you can use it. For the second conditional, replace if pronoun were with were pronoun without the if. If Grandma were alive today, she would love BTS. Okay, that becomes were Grandma alive today, she would love BTS. Again, this is very formal, not so common, but if you want to use it, please do so. I'll probably use the if version. Finally, the third conditional, and you can replace if pronoun had with had pronoun. For example, if I'd known you were coming, I would have baked a cake. Becomes, had I known you were coming, I would have baked a cake. Now, unlike the first and second conditional examples, this had I is used fairly often in everyday conversation. Okay, can you change this sentence to start it with had? If you had arrived 1 minute later, you would have missed the train. Your turn. Had you arrived 1 minute later, you would have missed the train. You are brilliant. Never have I met a student as brilliant as you. Not only are you brilliant, but you are lovely and wonderful. Little did I know. Little did you know that you would be learning about inversion.